Welcome to Champs vs. Stars, episode 4 recap here on AfterBuzz TV. Brooke is crying, Ashley is screaming, Anissa is quitting, and we have Louise on the line when we come back to break down her power move on the episode tonight. So stay tuned in just 1 second.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
That's all you, Jen. That's all you, girl. Get it. Get it.
Cardi B, watch out.
Cardi B is my hero.
That's sad.
She's a great person, Chris.
She is a great person. And you know what?
Sorry, clear my throat.
Cardi B is on tonight because Tony in the booth, our amazing engineer, said we gotta bump some Cardi B. Maybe one day you'll see Tony's face.
Keep it
but
up for
if not,
Tony.
Big
He's
ups
a
to
big
Tony.
fan of
Tony.
Cardi.
I love Cardi. She's my queen.
Yeah, she is the queen. And I know you guys are very anxious to jump into this episode as we are. Episode 4 of Champs vs. Stars. Face off. Gloves on. My name is Jenna Bussiere. I'm your lead host tonight. We do have a new guest panelist in with us tonight.
What's going on, man?
Introduce yourself.
What up, AfterBuzzers? It's your boy, Justin Yang. Super excited to be here with these people, and I'm super excited to talk about tonight's episode because I'm a huge fan of the challenge.
Welcome in. And then we got R&B, Christopher.
What's going on, guys? I am super excited to be here with you guys, too. It's going to be a fun show. Jen getting down with her hip-hop hoodness.
No,
Yeah,
he
look
is
at her.
David Punk Rock. He is
That's
not
right.
familiar with what's happening. He doesn't understand Cardi B. That's fine. And we got our lovely favorite, beautiful Brit on
Yay.
the line. Louise Hazel, what's going on?
In the house.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us so last minute. As soon as the episode wrapped, I got up my phone. I DM'd Louise. I said, you need to give me your reaction on tonight's episode. Please tell me why you made this move. Why was it Ashley? How did you react to her response? But she was giving, you know how Louise is. She's a little bit of a sneaky manipulator. So she was kind of giving us some riddles. And I said, Louise, I am not smart enough to understand what you're saying right now. So why don't you just call in? Call in and break it down to the people. So let's start there. So you are MVP. Casper,
Yep.
Everybody wanted him to be the bad guy and vote for himself, but he voted for you. And you have the power play trade, and you get to trade anybody on the blue team for anybody on the red team. And you get rid of Tori for Ashley. So why did you do this?
So, there's obviously a number of reasons. And I guess the first one is I know Ashley. Like, I played with her in Champs versus Pros. And so in my mind, I'm like, I know Ashley is a competitor. And so I genuinely think, and I believe in this episode, she can make it to the final, regardless of what is put in front of her. I've seen her perform in eliminations, and she's great. I haven't seen that of Tori. But then the other side that I haven't seen of Ashley is an Ashley who is in control of all of my stars. And so at this moment in time, I'm thinking, you know what? The only chance I have to give Brooke, Mama, and Salita a chance is to get rid of Ashley. She's pretty much kind of dictating what's going on over in that team along with CT. And so I kind of think there's an opportunity to destabilize the red team here and give my girls a fighting chance. And, you know, to be honest with you, it was a toss-up between Ashley and Kayla. And I didn't really feel, you know, any type of way about either one. I just knew I had to take one. And then I actually thought about it a little bit more. I thought if I take Ashley, that's going to destabilize Kayla and put her in a very vulnerable position. Kayla's going to be thinking, oh my God, Louise is coming for me next. And that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted to decrease the confidence in that team that we've seen in the past few weeks. Ashley's kind of being, you know, just sailing through, thinking that she's got it sorted, really, really comfortable, you know, on the team with the numbers. And I just wanted to make sure that she realized that this is a challenge and anything can happen.
So anything can happen, and Ashley is not happy about this. How did you react to her explosion? And were you not expecting this at all? Because you've played with Ashley before, and as we've watched on season after season, she gets crazy. And I even DM'd Louise and I said, Ashley is insane and I'm scared of her. So were you expecting to get the wrath of Ashley, and how did you react?
I was expecting to get both barrels, to be honest with you, so I wasn't surprised. I think the people that were the most surprised were the stars on my team, because obviously they hadn't met Ashley before. And all I can remember of her in the pros, in Champs versus Pros, is she was either competing really, really well or going crazy. And so this season, I just felt like she's very, quiet and just doing her bit, and then, not getting too much in the heat of the things. And I just thought, there's more to come here. I really wanted to challenge her and see whether she felt, because I felt there's a little bit of arrogance coming through as well. I wanted to see whether she felt that she could do as well on our team as the other girls were doing. And poor Tori ended up having to endure that for the past kind of couple of weeks. So there was a part of me wanting to give Tori a little bit of a break as well.
Yeah, and Ashley not being happy at all. Did you regret the decision a little bit at all? Because now she says she's going to sabotage your entire team.
Not one bit, funny enough. I think everybody, I'm getting messages on Twitter as we speak, everyone's saying, Ashley's crazy, that was a really stupid move. And, even the guys on the show, the champs, are saying that was a really dumb move. I didn't regret it one bit. It was not part of the plan from the get-go, because you never know whether you're going to get a trade or what the opportunities are. Mm-hmm. But when I thought about it, it just made sense. I'm like, who do I want to play with? Who do I want to compete with? Ashley. Who do I want to throw into elimination? It has to be one of the champs. Yeah. And so it really didn't bother me which one.
And your decision is so ironic because, of course, the beginning of the episode always foreshadows the explosion that happens at the end. And Ash is on cloud 9. She's so happy. I'm doing great. I'm feeling great. I'm running this game. I'm so confident. And then you got to be the one to go and throw the wrench in her plans. And this is what you dubbed as Limegate Part 2, right? As you were saying on our show last week.
I guess so, yeah. So, this is that kind of curveball that I didn't know that I was going to be able to pull out of this show. I went in and everyone was saying, is there going to be another Limegate? And I was literally like, I'm not sure. It literally depends what comes up. And, I really wanted to, I guess, just rock the boat and let people know that I literally came in to slay. I'm not taking any prisoners. Everybody's fair game. And I, went home in the semi-final last time. And this time felt like a completely different challenge for me. This time, I was just going for it. This was a big opportunity, and I wanted to win.
I love the way you say literally, but we have
literally,
and slay all day, slay with Lulu. And Justin, David, you guys had stuff you wanted to ask Louise.
Yeah, so Louise, it's Justin. Really quick question. I'm kind of curious, were you surprised of the way that Wes voted after you nominated yourself as MVP? The fact that he actually did just do a throwaway vote, and the fact that he could have actually tied it between you and Tori, which could have went to some sort of, tie-breaking vote. But the fact that, I think he was kind of pissed off. He was just like, wow, I can't control Louise. She's not under my thumb. And I don't know, maybe it was just payback, for something. But what do you think about that?
I think it's everything you just said. I think, Wes has been on my phone all night, actually, just blowing up my phone. And I think it's everything he said. I think he was just pulling his hair out. And he was literally like, I just can't control this girl. And obviously in the past, he's been able to manipulate these situations to his advantage every time and be one step ahead and to outsmart his opponents. And this is the first time I think somebody's kind of, I wouldn't say stood up to him, because I don't feel like he's bullying me at all. But this is the first time I think he's just not getting what he wants.
I totally agree. And it's one of those things where...
And the thing is, I have such a soft spot for Wes.
Yeah.
And so actually seeing tonight's episode and watching him when we were at the track after the...
Yes, I loved that.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
Batting for me, almost pretty much getting down on one knee, full-on proposal.
No, I mean... Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of thought at this point, I feel like he's making me jump too early. And I almost felt like he was rushing me into an engagement. And so rather than it be like, she's ghosting me and she's doing this and she's doing that, I wasn't ready to commit.
And usually Wes lets it ride out and he waits until the chips are there for his taking. He is jumping
He's-
a little bit too early.
Right.
No one's ever gotten under his skin. Well, Johnny, of course, in CT, but the
Yeah.
way you're out playing him right now, he is frustrated.
Yeah, it totally reminds me of what you said earlier in the season. I think he's definitely met his match, and especially when you guys were racing, I was like, I gotta admit, you probably let him win. You totally let him win in that sense, right? When you guys were racing, because I was like, there's no way that Wes can beat you. I mean, you're an Olympian, right? I was like, there's no
You
way.
know what? I'm going to hand it to him. He won that race, hands down.
Kudos, Wes.
Kudos,
He
Wes.
won that race. And you heard it here first. Like, I was full throttle. He was full throttle. At this moment in time, like I said, we want to get one up on one another. I don't want to lose. He doesn't want to lose. I don't want to back down. He doesn't want to back down. He wants me to jump. I don't want to commit. It's literally like, I just described it on Twitter as a bad romance. It's like a Lady Gaga song.
Can't wait to see what happens for the rest of the season between you guys.
David.
No, actually,
there are plenty more twists and turns.
Louise, this is David. I was actually just going to ask you about the race, but they beat me to it because I was just kind of wondering what happened there. I thought you had this. You're an Olympian, and you let Wes beat you.
Well,
I'm
let me tell
bummed.
you, your body. I was like, oh my God, look at this one. Yeah,
It's amazing, girl.
You retired her from Olympics in what, 2013? Like, it looks like she's still out there running heptathlons, however you pronounce it.
2012, but haven't touched a hurdle in a while,
Oh.
which showed. But no,
He
like,
helped you
I'm not
wipe
gonna
the
lie,
dust
Wes
off.
He did get out, but I think it was a false start. But he definitely
So was
he's
it-
got
was
some
it a
hurdle
fluke?
Skills. I have, huh?
Was it a fluke, Louise?
Yeah, definitely. I'd definitely race him again, and I would definitely smoke him. It's as simple as that. Simple.
Like 10 times out of 10, you'll win all 10.
All right, Louise, thank you so much for calling in. We're going to continue to break down the show here at AfterBuzz. That was Louise. You heard it from herself, first on AfterBuzz, right after the episode wrapped, why she made the moves that she did. And we'll see how that works out for her the rest of the game. So good luck to you, and thank you so much for being cool with us and hopping on tonight last minute.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy.
Thank you, Louise.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one.
Bye.
Bye. She's the best. I
So
could listen
sweet.
to her talk all day. I love that she was so down for it. I'm DMing her. I said, hey, do you want to just call in? Because I'm going back and forth. I'm asking all these questions. I'm thinking this might be better just to have her on. Yeah, sure. Okay. Like, thank you. She's awesome.
So it happens when you slide in the DMs.
And we love when we can have guests and we get to interview, celebrities, people who
Right.
have a grasp on things. And somebody else who does that is our amazing founder, Maria Menounos. She has her podcast that will help you grow, have fun, learn in all areas of your life. It is on iTunes. It is called Conversations with Maria Menounos Podcast Edition. It drops every Friday for free on iTunes, and it will feature, as well as how Louise was just on, other celebrity and influencer interviews, along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of your life, from health, wellness, career, finances, all the stuff we all want to learn about. Don't say you don't. We all know you do. We all want to get better. So listen to our Maria. Let her be the big sister you never had. And make sure when you do, you say it was your challenge homies on AfterBuzz TV that got you there. Because
Don't
it'll
forget
look
us.
really good
Don't
for
forget
us.
us.
And we want to see those comments. So make sure you go on iTunes. Drops every Friday. Conversations with Maria Menounos Podcast Edition. Thank you, guys.
Boom.
So you heard it from Louise. Let's move on to then the challenge of the day, Face Off. This was basically just football, all NFL, probably more intense than actual NFL play is these days with all of the calls and the fouls. This was brutal, but I have to say, as maybe dangerous and injury prone as this was for the competitors, I had a hell of a fun time watching this. What did you guys think?
I mean, it was definitely entertaining. It was hilarious to watch. I'll say first and foremost, I think this was a disaster, and I don't think they really thought it through too much. As you can see, the girls didn't have the greatest time during this challenge. As you see Anissa go flying, you've seen Ashley.
Ashley and Anissa
almost hit her
smashed.
nose.
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. It was. I mean,
Almost broke her nose.
This is crazy, So it's one of those things that yes, it was entertaining to watch, but at the same time, it was just so unfair, and it was, you kind of feel bad at some point. I mean, I don't think it was really thought through, and it was just more of a disaster.
So let's talk about that, because that's a good point. And you guys were saying off the show that they should have split it up and made
Right.
it two different heats.
I
Why
totally
do you think
agree.
that?
The reason being is because, like, in terms of the physicality of the show, this is a very physical challenge. It's not something that where, guys and girls can do it evenly. And as you can see, because of that, it's like, imagine if it was Brooke versus Anissa. Do you think Anissa could have broken her foot, if it was Brooke like going after her. But then again, Brooke didn't even participate in the actual challenge. So I feel like you definitely got to separate in terms of the actual sex. But I mean, I don't know. Like when I was watching it, I was like in the beginning, were you guys confused on the rules of like how it was actually going in the beginning?
Totally, dude.
Well, I had to ask you. I didn't know
Definitely
that
was. I
every
definitely
single
was.
person was going to have to do basically the kickoff
Yeah.
punt return that they had to do. I said, this is
Right.
going to take forever. And yes, people are going to get injured. If every single person is laying themselves out there and sacrificing, they should have maybe picked 3 people as the kicker, because then you could strategize and say who has the best chance. Oh, CT does, Casper does, Wes does. Let's put our strongest punt returners in there and see if they could go against the entire force field of people.
I think it was just the fact that there was too many people on the field, because if you would have just done it like, okay, one person from the blue squad goes against everyone from the red squad, it would have been fine. But you got people from the red squad, the blue squad,
over,
everyone.
man.
You got people hitting you from behind, people from the side. It's like,
Yeah.
of course, like I'm surprised that more people didn't get injured based off this.
No, you're so right. I think that's really what's the more important here, because you guys are bringing up the co-edness, and it'll be anti-feminist of me to say that, it's really not fair, but it is one of those situations where it's theory.
Let's just be
it's
real
theory
here,
versus
yeah.
reality. So
Right,
in theory,
right.
it's all fun and games. We're all equal. Sure, let's do the guys versus girls. But in reality, I'm sorry, little mama is
It's
not
like-
going to match CT
Right.
from
No
a
way.
biological
No way.
physique sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the numbers issue is what's really important here. Even if it was all girls and an all guys heat, you still have one person versus 15
Yeah.
people? Like,
Yeah.
how are they?
Well, hey, I mean, look at Casper. Like, he was the only person on the blue team and the only person in the entire game to actually score. So you got to give your props to him. But I mean,
Very
look
true.
at look at someone like Brooke, who there was some sort of controversy in the sense that she
Brooke.
didn't participate, even though she's probably one of the biggest girls on the actual show. She has a legacy where her dad's Hulk Hogan, and it's funny how CT was like, yeah, I kind of expected her to be a little bit more physical, but then again, you got to separate the dad from the daughter, because I think like we all think that the daughter of Hulk Hogan's, she's gonna go out there and kick ass, but I was
Right.
kind of surprised that she didn't go out there and do anything. But you got to hand it to her, because from a strategic point of view, look, someone did get injured, and that's what she was afraid of. I don't want to be injured. If I'm thrown in an elimination, in that sense, I have more of a chance of winning if I'm not injured. So
Dave and I are giving each other looks because I think we're both thinking
Yeah,
the same thing.
I call BS. Okay, no, Brooke, seriously, no, dude. Like, how could you do that? How could you not even try? Your dad's Hulk Hogan, and I'm a Hulkamaniac. So you kind of let me down too, and I understand where CT's coming from, and I'm frustrated and I'm disappointed, and I expected more from you. I was rooting for you, and I was really bummed out, and you let your team down. So no, I get where you're coming from, man. But I don't agree, Brooke. I don't agree. You let me down. I think you let Jenna down. You let all of us down. You let the Hulkamaniacs
You don't
down.
let me down.
Actually, Dave and I are not on the same page because I thought you were thinking about something else. I understand what you're saying. If it was me personally, I wouldn't quit just because I can't swallow that. I can't look at someone and say, no, I'm not going to try to do this
Exactly.
for you. But I understand why she didn't. She's fearful of getting injured. But I really do like the irony here. I appreciate that she's Hulk Hogan's daughter, and she's showing everybody, I'm not the wrestler that my dad is, and I'm big and I'm strong, but you know what?
Yeah.
I am not this competitor. So let's just lay that to rest. Let's let everybody who thinks that I'm now going to be jumping off of ropes.
But then what are you
and
doing
hitting
here? But then
people.
why are you here?
That's true.
Well, she didn't know it was going to be this brutal of a challenge.
And what do you think when you
Yes.
play checkers? When
Yeah,
you come on the show?
exactly.
I
You're
think
coming
a lot
onto
of
a
it is
challenge.
like, I was looking at CT and I was like, I want him to channel TJ. I want him to be like, to rip into quitters, because as you guys know in previous seasons, TJ hates quitters and he just lays into them. But what's funny is like Brooke was crying, but I was like, CT reminded me of his dad, but I was like, he didn't really say that much. Like
I thought he
We're
handled it
gonna
well.
get
I mean,
into
he
okay.
excused
Yeah.
himself. He got up and I thought that was respectful. He didn't like blow up or nothing. He just asked politely to excuse himself and walked away to kind of cool down a little bit, and then he apologized after. So I mean,
Yeah, okay, so then let's jump to the dinner while we're talking about
Yes.
it. It is that moment again that Brooke is showing herself being so vulnerable, and she is hit hard by this, and she's crying. And I feel for her in this instance because she already FaceTimed her dad before, and it's really ironic again that CT is in the situation,
right.
and it's CT, Brooke, and Brooke's
What a
dad,
coincidence.
and it's almost like
Coincidence?
CT is Brooke's brother or uncle she never had or something. He is this father figure to her, and he is somebody she respects so much, even though she just met him, has probably never watched a challenge before. So I feel bad that she's crying. At first, before CT came back, I thought he was being a bit extra. When he stood up, he said, I made my peace. Can I leave now? I said my truth.
I think that was respectful, Jen. I think he did
It's
that.
a
I think
little bit over the the top. You see, she's obsessed. You need to stand up
Right,
and
but
lay
he
into
was,
her
but
further.
he was upset too. So I think that's why he excused himself. I mean, he could have stayed there and he could have, who knows, blew up on her and made it worse.
It's just so different because like you have to understand like this is his house. Like how many challenges
really
has
is.
CT
Right.
done? He's done so many, and the fact that like he is like the Godfather. He's like, you know, and if you do a lot of these challenges, you know, like quitting's not an option. Doesn't matter how it is. If like I said, if TJ was there, he would have totally ripped her a new one. I mean, glad the Miz and CT, you know, kind of laid it down, but I feel like it's just kind of a taste of what's to come. If Brooke can't even handle this particular challenge, it's like how is she gonna do the more physical stuff later this season?
But back to Brooke's excuse. I think honestly she just didn't want to get hurt. I still think she's tough.
Well, of course, no one wants to get hurt.
I think she's badder than she is giving herself credit. She just truly did not want to get the broken nose that Ashley almost got. But I do think the excuse of, oh, well, what good would I be to my team if I do get hurt was kind of maybe an excuse that just works in
Lame.
her favor. It was just something she could
So
throw
do you-
out there, and it would definitely stick because it makes sense. But I think she just didn't want to do it.
I mean, anybody could say that. Literally,
course.
anybody could say
I
that.
just
I
don't
mean,
like
if I hurt myself, you know, what am I gonna? What good am I for my team? Anybody could say that.
Yeah.
Of course.
So do you think she's playing a strategic move and just playing possum, and everyone's just kind of thinking, like, "Oh, poor Brooke, it's your first challenge," but literally, like later down the line, she's a
No.
beast.
I think she has a heart of gold, and I
Well-
think she's being completely genuine and honest, and she's showing her emotions. She's
But you
crying
know-
with them. She's saying,
Yeah.
"Hey guys, this is how I feel."
But to his credit, it's kind of funny that you said that because her dad did say that on the phone. Remember, play
true.
possum, play possum.
Play
remember that?
possum. You gotta do anything
So-
you can to win.
I
Right?
mean,
So
it
true.
would actually be good if she did because maybe another challenge comes and they're counting her out now because like, oh, she doesn't want to get hurt. She's kind of, you know.
if that is true, Homegirl does need to get into wrestling because she is a good actress.
I
That
mean,
is
there
that is
you
a
go.
fantastic
So-
babyface heel.
And if that is the
Yeah.
case, Brooke, then I will forgive you. Okay.
And that
All
could
right.
be her whole wrestling persona. You know, she can play the,
know.
oh, I'm such a sweet innocent. I don't want to hurt you. I'm all for love. Bam!
What you gonna
Out
do,
of
brother,
nowhere.
when
Out of nowhere with the
Hulkamania
chair.
Take that,
Hulkamania.
sister. Here's a chair to your temple.
Right there you
Oh.
go, Jen. There you go.
I would
love you,
love if
Brooke.
Brooke Hogan
We love
came
you.
into that. But back to Face Off just for a second. Who did you guys think had the best play of the game? I mean, was with Casper
As I said, that's probably
aside,
given.
I think-
because he's Le'Veon Bell of the challenge, apparently.
I think the person with the best play is obviously Devin. Like Devin is such a goofball, but he's
Yeah.
just so entertaining to watch, and how he was like false start and all this other stuff. He's just like the prankster, the comic relief. So every single episode, I'm just looking forward to what Devin's gonna do.
I'd say, yeah, if not Devin, then probably Little Mama, just for giving her the credit of having heart because she's so tiny, but she didn't let any of that intimidate her. You know what I mean? She just went out there full speed. Like, Booby called her out and she's like, bring it, let's do it, you know? So one of those two, I think that works.
I think Lil Mama and Ashley handled their business.
Right.
And they were so just tough and strong, and Ashley didn't care. She was bloody. Take, what is it, Tony with the Cardi B? Get hit 9 times, get up 10. All about, this is the Cardi B themed
Yes.
episode.
original.
So, again, they were complete badasses. I appreciate Devin so much because he has to try something, right?
Yeah.
And it
Yeah, that was
almost
clever.
worked. The fact
Yeah.
that he's doing the mental game, which he always relies on, but the fact that he actually gets far when he does pick up the
does.
ball is pretty funny.
It's true, yeah. Very true.
So, Kayla actually tweeted out a little bit about the danger that this challenge brought to the participants, and she said, I'm not watching Champs for Stars right now, but I do want to chime in and say that the challenge was so effing bleep dangerous. I think it should have been played in a boys' heat and a girls' heat to make it safer. So she
Look at
thinks
that.
that.
Agreed.
No, I mean, I totally agree with that. I mean, look at what happened to Anissa. You know, she didn't even get hit. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she got hit hard, but I think maybe she just landed awkwardly.
Exactly. So we have Brooke not even participating, girls and guys getting hit left and right. I thought Drake Bell's spine twisted in half.
He got hammered.
Poor guy. I think
He
he's
got hammered.
probably not the least muscular, but he definitely has muscle, but he's
Yeah.
the smallest guy.
Does he?
He got snapped in half like a twig,
I think
man.
it was
Poor
him
guy.
and Shane. Shane also got it pretty bad.
And Anissa, we can call her bluff all we want, and we have a picture, we have an update. It looked like this girl
Yes.
got stitches. She had a broken
She
fibula.
has staples.
yeah.
She got so
Gnarly.
wrecked in this, and you could see by the injury, it was a complete twist, and she got laid out. And Tony, I don't know if you can pull up that picture that we sent you of Anissa's foot. There he is. He's getting it going. Is alive. Yeah, it's no joke. So we kind of rag on Anissa, say, oh, she gets hurt every other season. But this is what happens when you do get injured. It's been her ankle every time.
Yeah.
And she has a weak ankle.
It's crazy because this is the third season of the Champs versus Star, Champs versus Pros, and then remember the first season when Jenna also had an injury to her foot as well. So it's like the Champs. It's like it's the curse of the ankle when it comes to this. Right?
Yeah, seriously. This is a game for charity, and everybody's
it's a game for
getting
charity.
hurt
Everyone's
left and
getting
right.
knocked out. Everyone's getting taken out. So
Poor Nisa. I feel for your girl.
I know.
So there might be some complaints about how safe this was, but I enjoyed watching this.
I did. I kind of wish they would have showed more of the smiley faces because in the beginning they were like, all this is going to be smiley faces, and the Miz is like, what kind of smiley face would you be?
Okay, what was the actual point of that?
I wanted a poop emoji. Where's
Yeah,
the
the
poop
poop emoji.
emoji?
I would've
I was
done-
looking
I
forward to
would've
that.
like the
Are
this
they
emoji,
What's a
right?
poop emoji?
I was thinking when they brought that up, that fell so flat. Miz goes, and every ball's gonna have a smiley face on it,
But you
and
didn't
everyone
see.
goes, okay, ... Are they being sponsored by Apple or iPhone
Yeah,
or
the
emojis
emojis.
or something? That was just so random. They
The Emoji
tried.
Movie
They tried
coming
too
out.
hard.
Emoji 2 coming
Yeah,
out.
emoji
But
2.
kudos to Casper because he ripped that and he looked
Yeah.
so fast. And what do you think about Wes's comment about him being the poor man's Johnny Bananas? Because I disagree. I think Casper might actually be better than Johnny.
Oh, he's quicker than Johnny,
Yeah.
that's for sure. He's quicker than
I
Johnny.
He's faster.
Yeah, I definitely think that Casper, he has a chip on his shoulder. He has something to prove, and obviously Johnny, he's a seasoned veteran. But I think athletically speaking, Casper's probably going to be better than Johnny because, as you know, Johnny when he goes against the competitors like Derek or Darrell or all the top dogs, he usually doesn't really do too well. I mean, even Devin, he lost to Devin in the last elimination. So
That was a light bright, though. Come on.
That was a light
That was a
bright.
fluke.
And then remember
Okay.
what you said off
Yeah.
camera about, so Wes is calling.
So it's funny because Wes, it's like Wes and Johnny, they have like a blood
hate
feud,
each other.
right? They like it used to be like Wes and Kenny, but now it's like Wes and Johnny. But the fact that Wes basically called Bananas a poor man's.
No, he called Casper.
He called Casper a poor man's Johnny Bananas,
Yeah.
and then Johnny Bananas calls Devin a poor man's Wes.
Yeah. So it's all
Yeah.
full circle. They
It's
love
full
using all of
circle.
these cliches. Guys, we are live here in studio at AfterBuzz TV, but you can also listen to us and subscribe to us as a podcast on iTunes. And make sure you rate us and comment. And I went to check it out the other day, and we can't actually have any comments shown because there's not enough on our iTunes. So if you listen to us, please just go
Show
click
some love. Show some love, guys. We
Go
love to
click
hear
the
it.
stars,
Love to see it.
write
Let
a
us know what you
comment.
think.
Even if you hate us, write
Exactly.
it because
Yes.
they can't even see any comments because there's not enough that exist. So go on iTunes and subscribe to us, please. Okay,
Yes.
let's get into the campaigning and the politics and the LVP and the MVP voting. So Salida, poor Salida, she gets immunity from CT. Means nothing because Anissa has to leave and there is no deliberation.
Totally caught a lucky break with that one.
But it's funny that they're politicking around. Tori saying, vote for me, and then...
So funny. It's so funny of how they were doing posters and everything else, like vote for Casper, vote for this, and then in the end, it didn't really matter.
But
you know?
Casper had this the entire time because we saw the meeting with Louise, Casper, and Booby, who, if I want to be anybody in this game, it's Booby because he gets to just sit back and let Casper and Louise be the mischievous ones.
evil
And
ones.
but he's in it too, but nobody attaches his face to it. So
Booby-
he's having
yeah.
such a great game.
Booby is so cool. He's the type of person that you
So
totally
chill.
want to be friends with, and you totally kick back and just have a good time. And you can totally tell he's just always has a smile on his face. He doesn't take anything seriously, and I think that's the type of mentality and personality you need to have to win in this game.
He kind of reminds me of the Kyle of this show. You know what I mean? The crazy pirate who's just cool and kind of skates by. You know what I mean? He's like that. He's that cool guy. He's got a good personality, and yeah, he doesn't have. I don't think he has a target on him. You know what I mean?
And I
He just
love
gets
that
by.
Casper, cocky as he is, and everybody's painting him to be, which might be rightfully so. I love that he still did not vote for himself, and he voted Louise as the MVP.
It was a nice little bait and switch because the entire time you think he's going to, and the fact that it is a women's week that you should be having it for a woman, but he's like, I'm just gonna give it to Louise because I mean, this season they're really picking it up in terms of the stars they're starting to really know how to play the game now. Because before,
well, they have Louise leading it.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the MVP, right?
So, David, you were saying off camera that you thought Tori should have been MVP.
What?
How did you
Tori?
get that?
I was
It
just saying
doesn't even
Tori.
make sense.
I was just saying Tori to stir things up. Okay, I just want to stir the pot
You
and
did
not let
not look
Casper or Louise get
Oh,
picked.
don't play that now. You
That's
were
all.
not stirring the pot. Outside, you said hard and firm.
I
would
did.
pick
I said Tori because that way the vote
Rookie of
doesn't
the
go
year?
to either of them, and it goes to the champs. That's why.
It's kind of interesting because if Wes would have voted the champs way, it would have been tied. And I kind of wondered who the tiebreaker would be. Or maybe it would have changed, So in that sense. But
I think that's what Wes was trying to do. I think he was trying to throw the curveball and make some kind of tie or throw some kind of vote in there that would have messed up the fact that it could have gone in Louise's favor. I think he was trying to prevent Louise being MVP because he was hoping Casper was that loose cannon and he was going to take Wes's bait and say, oh, somebody voted for me for MVP. Now I don't look like an a-hole if I vote for myself like I want to. Wes was probably hoping Casper was going to fall into that trap, and it didn't happen. But now that Louise is off the line with us, how do you guys feel about her trading Tori for Ashley? What is your opinion?
I feel like it, from a strategic point of view, so keep in mind that you can go male or female, right? So it's not just female. So the fact that you could have easily gotten CT on your team. So that's probably how I and most people would have voted. But from what she did, she traded Tori for Ashley. But look what happened. Like, you got someone who's riled up. I mean, she's a loose cannon on your team now. So, I mean, I don't necessarily know if it was the best play.
I thought she was going to get Lil Mama. But then after DMing with Louise, she explained, I had to take a champ because if I took a star, it was going to eventually put me in a situation where I was going to have to vote for a girl star to go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think personally, to me, it's hands down, why wouldn't you take CT? He's like the strongest player on that team. You know what I mean?
Because he's a champ. That's all it comes down to. It's still champs
right,
for
but she
stars,
still
no
wants
matter
to take
what.
She still wants to take a champ. You know what I mean? So regardless, she's still going to get a champ. But they're also going to get, in my opinion, the strongest player. And I think you can kind of control it a little bit more if they're on your team. You know what I mean? And you're going to weaken the other team.
I totally agree. The thing is, there's just so many twists with this game because you don't know, right? In the end, they could switch up the teams again. It could be chance versus stars, again. So it's like you have no idea of what's basically going to happen, with all the twists and turns.
And I think Louise is just the more eloquent, lovable version of a Johnny. I don't want to compare her to Johnny at all.
Definitely not Johnny.
No, but she definitely wanted to stir something up. She wanted to cause the ruckus and make things go amok as they did. She was trying. She went into the game thinking, I have Limegate. What else am I going to do? I got to pull something out. And she saw the move and she took it.
The thing about Louise that I love the most is she's so cool. She's so calm. She's so collected, but she's diabolical. She's not going to lose her cool. So Ashley could be in her face. I'm going to mess you up. She's okay, cool.
Ashley was scaring me.
I
think she's bipolar, but she's also very hot. So I'm confused.
Yeah, I was really like, the thing with that is like, is it really that? I mean, if they were going to throw you in, if the only reason why they got you was they were going to throw you in every single, well, if you're really that strong of a player in what you think you are, then just win. Who cares?
And
like,
we
what's
could
the big
talk
deal?
about Ashley's reaction being over the top all we want, but there's no use. That's Ashley. We know
true.
that's Ashley. She's
That's
going to
Ashley.
freak out over somebody saying her hair doesn't look great that day. It's just, I appreciate her the way that she is. I like that she is unapologetic. She's crazy, but give me your crazy, and she doesn't disappoint. Where
so
would we be?
sweet of you, Jen.
Where would we be without Ashley on the challenge, without her flipping couches and storming off into the parking lot because she was traded? Like, NFL players don't even have that kind of reaction when they're traded to a different team. Well, they have a lot more money on the
I know.
they have a lot more money on the line. But this did just come full circle as like the NFL episode. We had the punt return game, and then we have the
Kickball
trade
game,
scheme.
right.
Who's on the waiver wire? We got the free agency up. So let's move on then. That was our episode 4, Face Off Gloves on Champs vs. Stars. Got most of the recap. Now we got to move on because we do have some news and gossip going on in the challenge world. Tony.
AfterBuzz TV News.
I was totally not distracted by anything at all.
Can you pay attention to us, please?
Thanks for watching our show.
I was about to
One
give you a
job.
shout out. Tony engineers another amazing panel at AfterBuzz, X on the Beach with Lem, who was on our show once. We love him. If you're not watching X on the Beach and you love trashy reality TV, you're doing everything wrong because this show is so bad. It's so good. So you need to go watch. And on our X on the Beach panel on AfterBuzz, they actually had Derek Henry on 2 weeks ago. And I listened because I love it. And Derek, as we know, used to date Tori on Dirty 30.
That's right.
Derek left first. Tori left. They came back on the reunion. It was exposed that Tori ended up cheating on Derek with Jordan, and it had the whole after show explosion.
Crazy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, people, Derek Henry let it out I think accidentally on our X on the Beach panel the other day. And he's on X on the Beach because his ex is Angela from Bad Girls Club. And the reason they're exes is because Angela is skeptical of him because Derek was flirting with somebody at the Dirty 30 premiere for MTV. So Nicolette on the AfterBuzz panel said, okay, wait, can you break this timeline down? When did you start dating Angela? And Derek says, when I got back from Dirty 30, she and I started dating. So when you got back from Dirty 30, so you just got back from Dirty 30 when you and Tori were dating on the show, but you left the show before Tori.
Exactly.
And then you started dating Angela right away. So
Nice.
their relationship. So obviously Tori and Derek's relationship
No
was a
good,
complete
no good.
sham the entire time. And then Nicolette said, oh, so you didn't really have to turn up on Tori then at the after show, did you? And Derek, quote, said, that's why I wasn't tripping. I didn't really care.
Jerry.
So that's the thing. Tripping.
know,
He
right?
wasn't tripping.
He wasn't tripping.
He
'Cause
didn't
knew.
really care.
Yeah, he didn't care.
So he didn't care that Tori was cheating on Derek with Jordan because Derek was doing the same thing and was hooking up with people and started dating Angela.
so cancel
So
it
there
out.
you have it.
There you go.
MTV's trying to make something
Everybody
bigger
wins.
than it
Everybody
is.
wins.
Everybody wins.
That's
They
a
lived
little
happily
tidbit.
ever after.
And if you like X on the Beach, they're always having guests on our AfterBuzz panel, so go over there and check it out. We also have some more news and gossip, and we got some photos to accompany them. When Tony starts to pay attention to us again, maybe he'll pull them up. Oh, guys, he's on Google. Oh, come on, Tony. He's logging into Gmail. How quickly can he do it?
Tony. It's Tony time.
I said
Tony
he's
time.
at
Tony
4 p.m.
time.
It's now 10 p.m. He's pulling him up. He's pulling him up. Okay, while I'm making him crazy over there, Heather Cook, which was one of my favorites, she was on Real World Vegas with Nani and Leroy. She went on One Challenge Rivals, or she subbed in to be Kara's partner. I don't know, guys, if you remember. She's like a professional soccer player. She was awesome. She was a great athlete. This Instagram account, ChallengeT411, tweeted out which female had the best overall debut and deserves the title of Rookie of the Year. And Cook was one of them. It's Cook, Cam, Tori, and honestly, I don't know who that is top left. Svetlana.
Oh, yeah.
Real World, Florida.
And Heather.
Key West.
And as you can see in the image, Heather commented on the Instagram and said, me, how about me? Plus, I would love to come back. And everybody has kind of been campaigning for her to get back on the challenge because she was so good. Would you guys want to see her?
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean, Cam's my girl though, so whatever. But
yeah, I would love to see like all the old challengers. I would love to see Jamie Chung come back. You know, I know Jamie Chung's doing movies and all that stuff, but I'd love to see Jamie Chung come back. But yeah, I'd love to see all
That
these
would be
old
pretty
people
cool
come
of
back.
Cook because she came in and she kind of took over her and Cara as a partnership in the female division of the game. She was really a force to be reckoned with. And she was a one and done, and she also had some drama around her. It wasn't really that much of her fault, but she brought some stuff with her. So I think she should come back, definitely. Bananas. Oh, Johnny Bananas.
Johnny.
You know, as he likes to tweet out his tweet, Bananas doing things. Oh, he's doing things.
What
All
the-
right.
What is Banana doing?
what is that?
doing things?
He
What
went
is
on
that?
this show on NBC called First Look. It's a lifestyle show that airs after SNL. And he's doing things like this. So he went on the show, and I guess he's dressing in drag, and he had to put high heels on and do like a strip dance. And he also did sumo wrestling with a sumo world champion. I have to say, when I watched the preview, I said, this is so cringeworthy. This is almost laughable. I feel bad that he's putting himself into these situations.
Johnny, hard times, bro? Like hard times or what?
But
Like,
I watched it.
I'm just kidding,
It's
man.
really not that bad. It was actually enjoyable. They
Yeah.
made it look way worse than it was, and the preview makes it look really bad, and like he's scratching
Yeah.
at the service for money to get hired for whatever he can. It was funny, and his mom is on it, and his mom's a complete badass. She had like her hair shaved, was so sweet.
Nice.
It was actually kind of funny. So it's on YouTube if you want to watch it. Hashtag Bananas doing things. Are you guys gonna give it a
He's
watch?
definitely doing
Yeah,
things.
definitely gonna watch
I'm probably gonna say a hard pass on that one.
Who's more interested in seeing Bananas shake his stuff on TV with heels on and just a bra?
You
No,
probably.
I
yeah.
said you too.
Oh, yeah.
What to do
that's
now?
all you, bro.
Fight for the death like the Hunger Games.
If it was Wes or someone else,
Oh.
probably I'd watch it. But
Oh.
since it's Johnny Bananas, I'd be like,
Yeah, that's gonna be a pass for me.
yeah.
And this is my favorite news part of our segment, and I wish we just had a segment about Ryder. We should just make like a Ryder roundup, Ryder Weekly, because this is the cutest baby ever. And this is shot Cheyenne and Corey's baby Ryder.
Aw.
And look at
It's
her
pretty
doing
dang
her
cute.
thing already. She nailed a Gap booking, and Cheyenne tweeted out
She's a
that
star
she's
already.
got another gig in the books.
Oh,
Look
he's so
at her.
more successful than Corey. Already doing bigger things than Corey. Right?
Oh, but
Here all
how
week.
beautiful is this child? And that is Cheyenne holding Ryder in this Gap ad for Baby Star Wars.
Pretty soon you have to go through
And
a
it's
publicist
so
to manage
cute.
it.
Yeah.
And congrats to them, and I'm happy that they're doing their thing and they're raising that lovely child.
Awesome.
That is all for our news and gossip. If we
Yeah.
could just go around the table and wrap up, where can everybody find us? That's going to be it for us tonight.
All right, guys. Thank you so much again for tuning in and hanging out with us. It was fun. David Punkrock Christopher. Find me on Instagram. David Punkrock Christopher. Twitter. DPR Christopher.
What up, guys? Thank you guys so much for having me. First time doing the challenge panel. I absolutely loved it. I had a blast. You can find me on Instagram at your boy Jay Yang.
Shout out to Justin. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
joining us. He was
Justin.
last minute as well a few hours ago, but hopefully we'll see him on again for some more challenge shows. I've heard him talk all about challenge before. He knows his stuff, and he's obsessed.
Obsessed.
Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Make sure you comment and you tell us what you think, and you answer all the questions that we put out there, because we love hearing your thoughts and they contradict with ours, and we love getting all the opinions we can. So make sure you make your voice heard and comment. Thank you guys so much. My name is Jenna Bussiere, and you can tweet at me. I love getting all of your tidbits and information and pictures on Twitter. I'm at Jenna_Bussiere. Thank you guys again. We'll see you next week, same time, same place, for episode 5.
Later.
Take care.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.